So I don't like racing, you know? This might seem a bit odd considering the way I named this channel, and I know you probably gotta think to yourself, well, why the f would I care? Well, I'm trying to get a discourse going considering that I'm not sure whether I'm alone with this perception. Having a look at the trends of the current sim racing market, I'd assume that I am somewhat lonely in my perception of this issue, but then again, maybe I'm wrong. Point is, I don't like racing without context. Context to me means that I'm racing with people on circuits that have some sort of meaning or value to them. That goes for both single player and multiplayer racing. In single player, I don't really have an interest in racing people that aren't really associated with real racing unless there's a story mode or some other form of single player campaign tied to it. I'd much rather race the real 2023 IndyCar grid than a sort of not really pseudo IndyCar, not really car, I can't believe it's not IndyCar grid in 2023. It could be the greatest AI in sim racing, but if they're not built around something that I can identify with, whether it be through a single player campaign or just a real license, I don't really see the point. Admittedly, the same goes for series that I don't really have any connection with. I don't see myself racing a GT3 championship offline anytime soon, seeing as A, I would have no fucking clue who any of these people are, and B, admittedly, GT3s, though it does differ compared to what I just mentioned because online you don't really expect to race people like Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, or Lando Norris anytime soon, unless of course you are subscribed to iRacing. I am not. Fuck that. I want to race people that I know. I want to race people I'm friends with. Oh, maybe even people I don't particularly like that much, to be honest, but people I can easily identify their driving styles, their aggression on track, their history. Maybe I have a bit of their bio in the back of my head on any given day with any given car on any given track, just to give everything a bit of meaning and context, you know? Make the racing not just about the wheel-to-wheel racing itself, which I find to be somewhat boring, to be honest, from time to time, but give it a narrative through line, a structure, something that has meaning. And to me personally, most online racing avenues don't really offer that. My prime example would be the system with which iRacing has made a ton of money over the past 10 years or so. Not to say that it's a terrible system, but for people like me, it's pretty much useless because I don't care about my rank. I don't care about whether I'm a C class, B class, A class, D class, or whatever class driver. I want to race people I know on a semi-competitive level, knowing their stories and backgrounds and driving styles, rather than racing against the greatest iRacing drivers of all time, even though I can't remember half their names. I could not care less. And why do I complain about that publicly? One, because I can't get back into league racing, the one place where I could have found that at the moment, so yeah, I'm a bit pissed off about that. Number two, as I said, I want to get a bit of a discourse going because I'm genuinely curious whether I'm lonely with this perception or not. And number three, I think there's certain things developers could do about that, especially when it comes to the single player aspect. Maybe give the AI more personality through a single player campaign like the old Toca Race Driver games. Now, they were far from perfect.
Oh my goodness! Oh, come on, baby, come down. Last of the red hot lovers, eh? What you looking at, fat ass? Oh, yours, fella.
Jesus. But whenever you saw one of your competitors on track, you would know what they were like and their attitudes and their personalities, even though they were mostly terrible and cliche and, let's be honest, also pretty racist. But I hope you get the point. There was a reason to race these people more so than well, you wanted to race a car and a track and we're automobilista too, so have fun, I guess. Now, if only there was a narrative through line for a mainstream racing game published by a AAA company that just released and is getting a lot of attention. Yeah, it's pretty fucking terrible. Not gonna mince my words there, it's shit. What the f are you doing? And for multiplayer championships, it's pretty much up to me to find what I just described to you. I'm honestly just surprised that either I care more about this than other people, or I'm honestly just surprised how well open lobby racing systems like iRacing seem to work, and that people aren't immediately bored by that people would actually be motivated by trying to up their rank or just the mere idea of racing people wheel to wheel, even though they have no idea who these people are, why they're racing, how long they've been racing, with whom they've been racing, where they've been racing, what their personalities are like, what they're thinking when they're on track, where they're from, etc. All these are things, best case scenario, I'd love to know whenever I'm racing people, because to me, that's what makes it interesting. Not just racing against a random void of names, but personalities, people. Well, at least that's my take on it.